Hey everybody, welcome to What's the Topic, and today we're going to be starting a new series where we talk about the most haunted places in each continent of the world, starting off with North America. Coming up first, we have the Island of Dolls. It is home to hundreds of creep-tastic dolls hanging from trees and vines. Visitors to the island have reported seeing the small figures moving their heads and arms and opening their eyes. Now that's some pretty creepy stuff if you ask me. The dolls were hung from the trees in the 1950s after a young girl was found drowned in the water lilies in the canal. The owner of the island, Don Julian Santana, strung up the dolls because he believed they would appease the girl's spirit. In a dark twist, Santana eventually drowned himself in the same spot where he found the little girl years before. Yikes, getting to the island is tricky. It's about a 3 to 4 hour round trip by ferry from Fernando Salada, but it's worth it for a truly spooky experience. Next is Queen Mary in California. If you've ever been through Long Beach, California, it's not a replica of the Titanic that you see docked. It's a famous British ocean liner named the Queen Mary. Her maiden voyage took place in May of 1936, as she sailed to her permanent mooring in California in 1967. After boat tourism dropped off, the Queen Mary survived a collision at sea and played a significant role in the Allied campaign in World War II, including D-Day. The world's most haunted ship is said to house about 150 known spirits that have never left its holds. Now that's creepy. It's consistently voted one of the most haunted places in America. The Queen Mary holds twilight tours and seances regularly, allowing visitors to experience the paranormal activity firsthand. Haunted hotspots include the engine room and the swimming pool rooms where women dressed in 1930s bathing suits and wet footprints have been found, even though the rooms are no longer in use. And there are frequently ghost sightings and odd sounds in the first-class staterooms, so if you're looking to hang out with some spirits, then this is definitely the place for you. Another spirit-filled place is the West Virginia Penitentiary in West Virginia. The unique Gothic-designed prison first opened in 1866 in Moundsville, West Virginia, and didn't close until 1995, meaning there's a long history here and plenty of ghost stories to go with it. There were executions, riots, and murders among inmates, and legend has it that they still haunt the grounds. Besides the violence among the inmates, prisoners were regularly beaten and tortured by prison officials, so the exact number of inmates who died here is unknown. We do know that 85 men were hanged and 9 were electrocuted in a chair called Old Sparky in one of the most violent correctional facilities that ever existed in the United States. And spirits have been seen in the prison's chapel, showers, death row cells, and more. Tours are offered daily with special events during the Halloween season. I don't know about you guys, but I think I know where I'm going next Halloween. Next up, we have Robert the Doll. Robert the Doll is located in Florida and is named after Robert Eugene Gene Otto, a 19th century boy in Key West, Florida. But Robert was never a typical toy. This life-size, straw-filled doll is said to have supernatural abilities and tormented Gene and his family with manic giggling and movements. His mom locked the doll in the attic, but after Gene's parents passed away, he inherited the house and returned Robert to his childhood bedroom. Visitors reported hearing the doll laugh, seeing it move from window to window from outside the house, and some say the doll drove Gene's wife crazy, literally. Today, you can visit Robert the Doll at the Fort East Martello Museum in Key West, but make sure you ask permission before taking a picture. Robert is known for casting curses on those who don't. Personally, I would never pay Robert a visit. Next, we have the Gibraltar Point Lighthouse in Ontario. The Gibraltar Point Lighthouse is the oldest lighthouse on the Great Lakes and one of the oldest buildings in the city of Toronto. During the War of 1812, the first keeper of the lighthouse, German-born J.P. Radel Muller, disappeared mysteriously in January of 1815. Human bones were found nearby, and it later came out that he was murdered by drunk soldiers seeking bootlegged beer. Gotta love alcoholics, am I right? Am I right? Local legend has it that Radel Muller's ghost still haunts the lighthouse. Some have seen an apparition wandering the grounds, while others have heard noises coming from inside. Tours were also available by appointment if for some reason you decide it's a good idea to tour there. And lastly, we have Smith College in Massachusetts. With a history dating back to colonial times, Smith College in Northampton, Massachusetts is said to be rife with paranormal activity. The most famous ghost story involves the campus's Sessions House, built in 1710, with a secret passageway underneath. The passage was built by the home's residents as a hiding place and was also a secret meeting point between General John Gentleman Johnny Burgoyne, who was being held as a prisoner by Captain Jonathan Hunt during the Revolutionary War, and Hunt's granddaughter, Lucy. Anyways, a pair of ghosts has been spotted near the staircase. Reports from several buildings across campus involve spirit sightings, as well as odd sounds and mysterious occurrences such as doors opening and bookcases moving on their own. Now, if you ask me, this sounds like it was straight out of a Ghostbusters movie. Maybe we should call them. So while we call the Ghostbusters to get rid of all these spirits, let us know in the comments which place you'd rather visit if you're forced to, and make sure to subscribe.